Welcome back to Plants Not Plastic. I'm Nikita, and today I'm going to show you how to make a restaurant-style fried rice without using any oil. Fried rice is delicious. It's always a winner at Chinese or Japanese restaurants and something I'll pretty much always order if I'm eating out because I used to figure it was near impossible to replicate oil-free at home. But today's recipe proves that wrong. Without cooking the rice and the veggies in oil in a big wok like you would at a restaurant, my version clearly won't be as rich or quite as crispy. But this recipe gets you pretty damn close, and it's a great option for making plain rice more exciting. It also doesn't feel at all like I've settled, and that extra bit of love you have to give it without the oil is really worth it because you get to feel good about what you're eating. So here's everything you need to make this recipe. I'll also leave everything in the description box below, along with a link to the blog post and a printable recipe card. So rice first, and for this, I have 2 tips for getting the texture right. Well, really 3. First, rinse and drain your rice multiple times until the water runs clear. This removes that starchy powder on the kernels of rice and makes it less likely to stick to itself, and it also eliminates that mush factor that most people don't like about rice when it's cooked wrong. Second, make your rice either the day before or the morning of and let it cool completely and chill in the fridge before you make the fried rice. And 3, make sure you cook it correctly so it isn't mushy. And luckily, I've got videos for how to cook both jasmine and brown rice depending on what type of rice you choose. After a shower and an outfit change, we're ready to cook. If you're toasting your own sesame seeds, you can start with that in a separate small frying pan, toasting the raw seeds over medium heat and moving them regularly in the pan until they turn a golden brown and smell toasty. This shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. You can also do this directly in your large saucepan for a one-pot option, but I personally like to leave them on the side and add them at the end to keep them crunchy. Next, you'll do the veggie prep. You'll dice your onion, mince your garlic, and then prep whatever mix of veggies you want. I'm just gonna go with the classics of peas, corn, carrots, and mushrooms. Then in a large sauté pan or nonstick frying pan over medium heat, sauté your onion, garlic, and any hard veggies, think raw carrots and broccoli stems, until the bottom of the pan begins to brown, and then add your other veggies. The water from these veggies should help to unstick some of that caramelization and prevent anything from burning, but feel free to lower the heat if things are cooking too quickly. In the meantime, make your sauce by mixing together water, soy sauce, optional sugar and sriracha, and separately making a slurry with cornstarch and a little bit of water, enough to make a thin paste. You'll also want to take your rice out from the fridge at this point and break it up with a spoon. Once your veggies have softened and cooked, add the sauce to the pan to deglaze and then bring it to a boil. Pour in your slurry slowly, stirring constantly until it thickens. All you have to do from here is add the rice and toasted sesame seeds, mix well, and warm everything up. I personally like to wait until I get a little bit of sticking to the bottom of the pan and let everything sit without stirring it because it creates a little bit of crisp on those parts and makes this dish's texture even closer to restaurant fried rice. Once everything is warmed through, remove it from the heat and we're ready to serve it up on a big plate, garnish it with some sliced green onion and additional sriracha, and dig in for a taste test. This fried rice is starchy, filling, and full of flavor. The rice doesn't stick to itself and you can separate each kernel just like that great restaurant-style texture without the oil. And because it's just so close to the restaurant stuff while being healthier, I'm happy to make it and eat it at home whenever I'm craving it. If you want to make this even closer to that takeout option, you can even add some tofu for an eggy texture. When I do this, I like to break up my tofu in a nonstick pan and add a little turmeric for color before sauteing for about 5 minutes, making sure that I've broken up any large pieces. You'll then set the mock egg aside and add it at the end along with the rice to warm up with everything else. My favorite way to enjoy this fried rice, though, is alongside crispy tofu. It takes both recipes, combines them, and turns them into a whole meal. For how this fried rice stacks up against an alternative, you can check out the full nutrition label on the blog that links out to Chronometer. This recipe, though, is going to be the same as all my others. When comparing it to a non-vegan or processed vegan option, it will cost you less to make. With plant-based ingredients, it'll have more fiber, and without oil or butter, you get to eat more of it for the same number of calories. So that is it for today's recipe. If you try it out, let me know in the comments. You can also subscribe to my blog for recipes right to your inbox and connect with me on social media for day-to-day content. And as always, if you've got a recipe idea, let me know then in the comments because I would love to make it for you. And don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, give this video a thumbs up, and come back next time. Bye.